All right, hello everybody, welcome to Verbling. Today we're going to be talking about debates. So, feel free to join. Awesome. All right, who's on right now? Let's see. All right, we've got first up, we've got Yosef. How are you doing, Yosef? Yosef, can you hear me? All right.
Yes, hello.
Can anyone else hear me?
Charles.
Ahmed, can you hear me?
Charles, just loading.
All right. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Okay.
Where have you
All
been?
right.
I didn't see you in this.
I'm doing great.
These 2 days you don't have a lot of classes.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I teach 2 classes tomorrow. I just teach 1 today. All right. Let's see who else is on. Alfonso, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. How are you doing?
All right. I'm doing great, Alfonso. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Awesome. All right. Next up, Aniolku, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you this time.
Oh, okay. I'm Mary, by the way.
Mary?
Nice to meet you.
Okay. I don't know why you come up with that on your name instead. It's just your online name?
It's a Google name, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Mary, I'll write that down.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, we've got Fabrizio. How are you doing, Fabrizio?
Hi, great.
Awesome. All right. Also, Inga. Can you hear me, Inga?
Yes.
All right. Welcome.
Hi.
Javier, can you hear me?
Yes,
I
I
can.
hear you.
All right. Next up, Jefferson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
All right, perfect. And Mikolaj, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Well, let's start with some introductions. My name's Troy. I'm from the United States. I'm from California. I love to scuba dive. I love to travel. And what else? I'm left-handed, and I love strawberries and blueberries and blackberries. So, let's have introductions like that, random little things. Let's start with you, Yosef.
Well, I'm Yusuf. I'm from Yemen, and my native is Arabic, and I love a lot of things. I don't know where to start. Well, let's say I love the most swimming. So that's it. I give that.
Okay. And you said you like freestyle and breaststroke, was it? Or what's your favorite stroke?
Diving also.
Oh, diving.
Backstroke, yeah. Backstroke
Okay.
also. It's fun.
Awesome. All right. All right. Well, thank you, Yosef. Let's move on to Mikolaj. Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name's it's pronounced Mikołaj.
Mikolaj. All right.
Yes, and I'm from Poland. I like playing soccer. I like dancing. I attend dancing classes, and that's all.
Nice. What position do you play for soccer?
I'm a midfielder.
All right. So you run a lot then.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't like midfield because require too much running.
Yes, it does.
And what type of dance do you like?
I dance hip hop, and
Okay, cool.
I also like breakdance.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, Mikolai, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. Next up, Jefferson. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. I'm Jefferson. I'm from Brazil, and I love travel. I love study. I love computer, and I love USA too.
Oh yeah, have you been to the U.S.?
Yes.
Where did you go?
Oh, Mississippi, Lucidale, Licksville, Missouri, Odessa, Arkansas, Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Arkansas. I had been uh, Springfield. I don't know.
Okay.
I can remember.
Yes. Springfield, Missouri, or Springfield, Illinois. Yeah.
It was great.
Awesome. You went to a place that not many tourists go to. So.
Yeah, because I know a lot of Americans like brothers for me. So I have a lot of friends, and every year they call me, Jefferson, please come here. And all of that, I live in this place, like Panama City, Florida. It's a great place, and I have friends there, like brothers. So I love United States. The South of United States for me is the best.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Javier, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Could you introduce yourself for us?
Sure. My name is Javier, and I'm from Spain. What can I say? I like learning languages and teaching Spanish as well. And I like to practice in yoga, for example, and jumping rope.
Wow. Okay. Cool. What type of languages do you like?
I like English and German too, and modern Greek.
Awesome. All right. That's way cool. And what part of Spain are you from?
I'm from Andalusia, from South Spain.
Oh, okay. That's neat. I haven't been to Spain yet. I need to go.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And next up, Fabricio, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi, I'm great. Okay, I'm Fabricio from Argentina. I love playing paddle and tennis, and I love singing also, but I'm quite bad at singing. So.
What type of things do you like to sing? What type of songs? What type of music?
I think it depends on my mood. Sometimes
Okay.
I prefer something cheerful and funny. Sometimes I prefer something sad.
Okay, yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, well, thanks for joining us. Okay, next up, Daniela, can you hear me? Daniela, can you hear us? Yeah? All right. When you get your microphone fixed, then feel free to
Maybe
join.
she's muted.
Oh, is she muted?
Yeah, I guess she's talking, but she's muted.
Oh, I don't think anyone's muted her. I think yeah, it's probably microphone issues. All right, Daniela, just let us know when you're ready to join us. All right. Next up, Mary, how are you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Venezuela, and I'm living in Ireland, trying to learn English for 1 year. But I'm been here for 3 months. Yes, for
Awesome.
3 months.
That's
Yes.
way cool. Which part of Ireland?
Sorry,
Which part of Ireland?
in Dublin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But there are a lot of Spanish people here and Brazilian people, so I hear a lot of other languages on the
Yeah.
street. Yes, sometimes it's not so good to practice, but
Okay.
I can hear English as well. Yes.
That's good. I've actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because when I was traveling in Southeast Asia, I met and made friends with a guy from Italy who lives in Ireland, but his girlfriend, now fiance, um, she's from Venezuela and she's living in Ireland too. So
Really?
yeah, it's
Oh.
funny.
We don't have. I didn't see a lot of people from my country,
Oh, really?
but no, here no.
Okay.
Only a few, but Brazilians. Oh my God! I think 50% of Brazilian and 40% of Irish and 10% of Spanish are living here. Because I really listen a lot. I hear a lot of Portuguese
Oh,
on the
yeah?
street.
Can
Yes,
you?
I can learn two languages for the same price.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
All right, Alfonso, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Well, I'm from Spain too, from the center of Spain, a town called Salamanca. I'm 38 years old and I'm a firefighter. And well, I like soccer and boxing.
All right. Who's your favorite team for soccer?
Real Madrid.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uh, awesome. All right. Well, last up, well, we can talk about soccer teams because today is about debates. So you can argue why you feel that Real Madrid is the best one.
Okay.
All right. So last but not least, Ahmad, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. How are you, Troy?
I'm doing great.
Right. My name is Ahmed. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I like reading, writing diaries, drawing, and playing crosswords.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How long have you been writing in a diary?
The time I was 10.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've been writing in a diary myself since I was 11. I went to Italy by myself on a diary. So I've been writing a diary for a long time.
Okay, cool.
That's really cool. Talking every I want to. So I'm going to call on people. Something that people want to control in the U.S. That's what we could discuss. Briefly, though, I want to hear certain opinions of what you guys want to talk about, a soccer team or anything like that that you would.
We don't speak robot. You are robot in Troy.
I didn't hear you, Joseph.
You are having a connection problem. We can't hear you clearly.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh no.
Yeah, there is a robot there.
There's a robot? Uh-oh. One second. I'm going to check it with my router.
Okay.
No, lives are
He went to fight with his roommate. Maybe he's downloading something.
Very.
Hey, dude, what are you doing? I'm teaching. Please, stop downloading.
Yes, sometimes.
He's bad. Did you fight with your roommate?
No. I think one of my roommates is he's playing an online game, but I think he's the only one, so the internet should be okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right.
Told you guys.
Okay. So today we're talking about debates.
Okay.
So last time we left off with talking about gun control. But if I want to hear what everyone else wants to talk about and debate about, because this class, what I want you to learn and be able to practice is being able to show another person why you think a certain way and why you disagree with what they are saying, but being able to do that in an eloquent and diplomatic way.
That's
So-
very awesome.
That's the goal. So let's just briefly go through. If you have anything you'd like to debate about, I'll ask. If not, you can just say pass. So, Josef, is there anything that you would like to debate about?
If there is any specific topic we are debating about, or just
For right now, the only thing that I have from last time that we were going to discuss was gun control.
yeah, we have go through that. So I'll pass it for a few minutes. Then if there's something I'll debate because I have been debating about that
Okay.
previously.
All right. Let's go. Oh, go ahead, Jefferson.
I think gun control in the United States, it's very important. So sometimes it can be tough. For example, when I was in Lucedale, it's a town, and they are from part of the city, and I think they need guns. So if it's so hard to say, if you can say stop, don't buy guns, or to say okay, it's free. Because sometimes it can be dangerous, and sometimes it can be very necessary. So I can, for me, I think it can be free because you just need to know that you are buy a gun to not to do bad things, but just for you be like safe. Can you understand me?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Like
can.
so, for them, the people who live in country zone, I think it's very very important to them got a gun.
Okay.
Okay, but if anyone can take control of its own safety, what is the role of the police or the government? You know, because we won't need police then. We can be secure by ourselves.
What do you think about that, Jefferson?
I didn't hear. Can you repeat again?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Fabrizio, you were a little staticky. Could you say that one more time?
Yes, my question is that why do we have policemen?
Okay, okay. When I talk about the country zone, I'm talking about for them it's more harder because they live. I think it's different. Just the people who live in the country zone for them is more safe if they can get a gun in their homes. If you live in the city, okay, you have a police next to you, and it's okay. But if you live in a country zone, I think you need to think about it to buy a gun. So everybody there got a gun, and I think it's better for them. So for me, it needs to be free for everyone to buy or no.
Okay. I want to hear from other people too. So, Alfonso, what do you think about gun control?
Well, here in Spain, almost nobody has a gun, so it's very strange for us to stay in your place because the usual thing is to have a gun, you know, and when you have a problem, you call the police, and I think um, guns can take you more problems than avoid you from problems. You know, there are a lot of accidents and people are not responsible with their weapons. You know, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Just one thing with English, I think a perfect way of saying something that you said was guns create more problems than prevent more problems.
Okay.
So
Okay.
create and prevent. So, but that was very good. Sorry for interrupting. Please
Okay,
continue
thank
if you would like to.
Me?
Yeah, if you have anything more to say, then you can continue. If not, then that's okay.
That's okay for now.
All right. Okay. All right, Mary. What do you think? What do you think about gun control?
Uh, I think the same, that is important. But sometimes it's not only about the problem is not only about control guns. There are some crazy people who enjoy kill others or injure. Of course, it's only a few, but
Mm-hmm.
they can be very dangerous. Sometimes those problems happen because of mental problems, I think, more than because of any controlling in with about guns.
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. I'll write that down because this is a very good topic to discuss. I don't know about debate, but mental health. So that's a good one. Um, all right. Well, thank you for sharing, though. All right, Daniela, can you hear us? I still can't hear you, Daniela. All right. Next up, Javier, what do you think?
Well, I must say that I agree with Alfonso, because, like, as he says, here in Spain, it's forbidden to have guns at home, and I think that we used to think that having guns at home creates more problems that what they prevent. Because if you just haven't got a gun at home, you just can hurt people by firing at them, for example, or you just can go to a school and doing horrible things like what we have seen in the USA last month. You know, yeah, I think that gang is a very important thing, but just for the people who is able to use them, like the policemen and so on. You know, the army, but not the normal population, so to
Okay.
say.
Yeah, I can understand that view for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, thank you for sharing. All
Mm.
right, Kazda, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm great. Welcome. Today we're debating. So right now we're just talking about gun control, and so I was just asking for everyone's opinions and different points of view on that.
Excuse me, first time connection. I am from Turkey in
Okay,
live
welcome.
Ankara, and mm, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's great. That's a great introduction.
Uh,
What are what are some of your hobbies?
Hobbies, table tennis, play table tennis, and uh, uh, play football.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
Table tennis and football. That's good stuff.
yes,
Awesome.
yes,
Okay, so Kazdal, today we're talking about how to express your opinion to people who don't have the same opinions as you. This happens a lot of times in life, and so it's important to be able to practice this.
yeah,
So this is what we're practicing today. So feel free to voice your opinion, and also with any things that you would like to discuss. Maybe you want practice about, I don't know, telling your neighbor to make his dog be quiet or something like that. Then feel free to go ahead and bring that up.
a little understand.
Oh, sorry. I will speak slower.
Yes.
Okay. Well, feel free to join the conversation.
Watching a table a class showing. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Watching class. Watch class. No problem.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and just, yeah, it's okay just to watch. It's totally okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Feel free, yeah, if you want to get practice speaking,
yes.
then you can join. If not, you can just watch, and that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So next up is Lydia. How are you doing, Lydia? Can you hear us? I can't hear you, so I think there might be something with your microphone. Maybe you're on mute. All right. When you figure out the microphone problem, just go ahead and join. All right. Well, we'll go to the next one, though. We'll come back to you, though. Nikolai.
Yes.
What do you think about gun control?
In Poland, basically, it's forbidden to have a gun, but my views are quite similar to Fernando's.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that everyone should have a right to have a gun to defend oneself.
Okay, so here's a question. I know that Alfonso also mentioned in Spain, and you just said in Poland that it's illegal to have guns. Is it illegal for even just for like hunting birds or things like that? Is it illegal to have a gun?
But hunters can have a gun, but they should have a license.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. All right. Yeah.
The same in Spain.
Oh, it's the same in Spain?
Yeah, and in Argentina too.
In Argentina. Okay, so people can buy guns, but they need to have a special type of permit or a license to own it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
of course, there are people that have one because they live in poor cities or maybe in slums, but they are the exception, I think.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah. There's a lot of different points of views, and what I really like to emphasize in my debate classes is that it's really important to be able to voice your opinion in a way that doesn't make others not want to listen to you. So, I know some of you guys were on this debate, this series last time, but I'm going to write these different tips that we talked about for last time. So, the first one is don't become emotional when debating something. So, um, when you start to cry or when you start to yell at someone else, a lot of times they don't listen to what you have to say, but they're just watching how you're saying it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you can understand when a person is upset when they're crying, but you're not really concerned about what they're saying. You're more concerned about getting them to calm down, right?
Yes.
So that's why I'd say American politicians, they need to do a lot better job at not yelling or crying or um, being too emotional about some of these things. Um, but does anyone have a story or some type of, a story that they could relate to that first rule of not becoming emotional? Maybe when talking with your boyfriend or girlfriend or a roommate or someone like that. No?
To become emotional when you are talking to someone and they become emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you handle the situation when they became emotional?
Man, I think I don't know because the most of time it's me that I'm emotional. I can remember when I was in the United States and I need to come back to Brazil. Man, I was like, every time that someone come to me and say Jefferson, goodbye, you are awesome, and something like that, I was like crying a lot and a lot. And sometimes when they bring to me some gifts, I was like crying again.
Oh, Lydia,
You're muted.
you muted him. Wait 1 second. Jefferson, can you unmute yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry. Could you say that one more time?
Yeah.
So when they brought you gifts, sometimes you would get emotional.
Yeah, I can remember when I needed to come back to my country, and every time the Americans bring to me some present or gift, I started to cry and cry and cry. So I think for them, they start to be like mute and just look at me, and I was like waiting for me be cool again. Because I think the best thing you need to do is wait and trying to understand the other people. Because when I was that, it was like a strong feeling, and sometimes you just. I think the best thing you need to do is wait and try to understand the other person.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. Um, all right. So let's go on with my second bit of advice when it comes to when you're in a debate or a discussion, and that is to speak slowly and clearly. Right? A lot of times. Oh, sorry. Did someone say something?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Um, all right. So when you're in a debate, sometimes maybe you don't get emotional, but sometimes you start to speak faster and faster, and sometimes you're not very clear. And so people, especially if it's in a different language than what you speak, or if you're speaking in their language, it's very difficult to understand people when they start becoming very enthusiastic about what they're saying, right?
Yeah, you're
Fabricio, you look
right.
like you're laughing. What do you think, Fabricio? Do you have a certain
I
thought with
think
that?
that sometimes that happened to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So when has that happened to you?
Sorry, is there a car outside playing music out loud?
Oh, okay. Nikolai, what do you think about that? Do you think um, it's more difficult to understand people and they're speaking very fast and not clear, right?
Yes, I agree with you. Because when you speak slow, anyone can understand you and know what do you have to say.
Yeah. All right. Daniela, what do you think about that? Can you hear us? Okay, maybe not. Javier, do you have any experiences as well with when people try to speak fast when maybe it's in English?
Well, yes, and I think it's easier for everybody to uh, to to talk slowly because so you can make your partners easier to understand you. And sometimes it happens to me that when my partner, for example, starts talking faster and faster about something that I don't maybe agree with, I just feel like ashamed or something, so, and I prefer just staying like muted and don't say a word and just let him or her stop saying what he or she thinks about, and it's okay, you know. I just prefer not to come into that debate.
Yeah, that's exactly. I totally agree with what you just said. A lot of times, when people are talking very quickly about something, or aren't very clear, I kind of zone out. I just think, okay,
Yeah.
let me know when I can start to talk again.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third piece of advice that I have is staying on the subject. So, can anyone tell me what that means?
It means that you have to change the subject you are talking about.
Exactly.
So try to focus on what you have to say, and so maybe you can introduce it briefly and then you can explain it, but try not to explain it too much because people get lost.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. So, for example, if I am talking with Joseph, and
Yes.
and Joseph, if you and I start talking and we start arguing about something, right? Maybe you say that the best swimming stroke is freestyle, okay? And I start to say no, no, no. The best stroke is the backstroke, and we start debating about what stroke is better. If all of a sudden I change the subject to, well, swimming is better than diving, and you think, wait, what? That's just
No.
confusing.
Yeah, because you start deflecting because you are arguing, but you don't have a good argument. So you don't want to yell or you don't want to get emotional. So you have another thing to do is deflecting and just changing the subject and go through other things.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So that happens a lot when people maybe if you're fighting with a sibling or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Many people, that's a human. It's just a human tendency to try and switch subjects because I don't want to lose that debate. So I think, oh, if I switch it, then we won't finish what we were originally talking about, and we quickly move on.
Can we say deflecting? Like,
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, deflecting, if I don't know, in that case, deflecting would be more. If you deflect the argument, you're not acknowledging it. You you just don't even consider it. You think, so in the example of us swimming, I would not even consider your freestyle argument. I would just be like, okay, Joseph, he's crazy. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, right. So that's
Yeah.
deflecting, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So the last piece of advice that I have is putting yourself in their position. So we have an idiom, a saying for this. Put yourself in their shoes. Or walk a mile in their shoes.
Their shoes.
Yeah. So what this means is to literally think, okay, if I'm in a fight or an argument with Alfonso, and I just don't understand how he can think Real Madrid is the best team, because clearly Manchester United is so much better than Real Madrid. If I don't try and understand his point of view, oh, wait a second, he is from Spain, he is probably very close to Madrid, he might have someone, a relative or a cousin, who plays for the team or something, If I don't try and think of his point of view, I'm not going to be able to reason with him, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I totally agree with you.
All right. So I'll write all these up again. So the first is don't become emotional. The second, speak slowly and clearly. The third, stay on the subject hand. And 4, put yourself in their position. All right. But let's do more debates. Let's talk more about things that we're very, very passionate about. So, Alfonso, could you give us a different topic that you would like to discuss?
Well, I want to add something if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, please, yeah, add.
Sometimes when two people are arguing, some people think that the louder you speak, the more reason you have. I don't know if it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you understand?
Yeah, I can understand you.
Yeah, okay. It has happened to me sometimes that some people are yelling and they think they're right because of they can talk louder than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this happens to you too.
Oh yeah, definitely, yes. It happens to me as well. Does it happen to anyone else? No? Well, you guys are all very lucky not to deal with people.
Politics act like this.
Yes, yes. Politics, it's very much like that, where if I can yell louder, then I'm winning the argument, which is really just foolish. But, all right. Does anyone want to add any more? No? All right.
I would like to introduce a discussion about one thing I was talking about with some people, that it was that women, if women are better in learning languages than men.
Interesting.
What do you think, people?
No, she isn't.
They aren't, I think. But
They aren't.
yes, I think they are good I think they are very talkative. Maybe that could help them. But at the end, I think we are better because, I think we are so objective, so we don't waste words when we talk. I think the fact that they were talking a lot doesn't mean that they have.
I guess with if we start talking about languages, Alfonso, do you mean culture as well?
I mean learning a new language.
Okay, because I think that sometimes just to counter what Jefferson and Fabricio have said, is I think that some women are much, much better than men at being able to understand the other person's views. I think sometimes men can be very, very stubborn with saying, no, like, this is how it is in my country, and this is how it needs to be done everywhere else. And not to say all men think that way or that girls don't think that way, but I think that there is definitely room for debate in that. Unfortunately, Lydia and Daniela we can't hear them with the speakers, so they can't defend themselves.
Well,
okay, Sarah. Oh, go ahead.
The point was that women are better are learning languages and men are better in maths. That was the point.
Interesting. Sarah just typed something. She says, "Excuse me, it's not about who talks so much. Men, same as women, can be talkative in their own way."
But usually, even if the man is talkative, he used to have a lot of argument and being like how to say that, objective, right? And women usually just like subjective, doesn't have argument, yelling, getting emotional. So that's the difference.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
I think, for example, that women are better learning languages, and that's just a fact of their brain connections, and so because if you just fix your minds in the expression of mother tongue, that's something that says that it's the mother who gives her tongue, her language to the sons and daughters. I think it's not just an adjective, so it's a fact, and I think that it has to be with the human development. When human beings were divided into mothers who cared about the children and men who went out for hunting and so so in the brains of the mothers developed in another way, like the men's one. And in fact, if you go to a college and you see the number of women immatriculated in philology, for example, is really very higher than the number of men.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think that women are better at learning by heart. I think we are better at thinking, for example. So I think that require us much more time.
Who does it require more time? It requires more time for men to learn language. Is that what you're saying, Fabricio?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, someone else said something. I didn't see who it was though. Jefferson, were you going to say something or no?
No. Forgot that.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, that's Alfonso. That's a really interesting debate that you had with them because I've heard different studies. I haven't read enough into, um, you know, biology or not biology, but more psychology and things like that to see where languages, are better with men or women. That would be interesting to read about. I'm sure there's a lot of studies done. Um, but Javier, do you know of any of those studies?
Well, not directly, but I remember having written some books, some Spanish ones, that reminds, for example, the extension of the Spanish language in the American continent, and why, for example, the majority of the population uses the so known as ceseo, so that characteristic in the pronunciation of Spain from the south of the peninsula. And it was because the majority of women who went to America in the very in the very early years after Columbus discovered it were exactly from the south. So they in some way extended their pronunciation, no matter how the men pronunciated the language, but the women.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I would be really interested in reading some of those articles. So maybe next week we're going to have our last talk about debates. If that will end the series, I'll keep teaching and I'll probably do more debate classes. But if next week you're on, I would really appreciate some of those articles. That'd be really neat to read. Except if it's in Spanish, then I can't read it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mikolai, what do you think? Tell me another thing that you would like to discuss or debate.
Maybe Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Personal what?
No, Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's staticky when you say that.
I'm gonna type it.
Okay. Real Barcelona. Okay. Well, that's a very good debate. What do you think? Who do you think is better?
I don't want to say who is better because it depends on which team fan are you? Because in my opinion, Barcelona is better. And for example, Alfonso can say that Real is better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to debate about it.
Okay. Do you know the statistics or the different scores?
I think Madrid has more titles, but recently Barcelona is better.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Josef, you said you also follow football as well, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
So what do you think?
I don't know. Like when we are debating about Barcelona and Real Madrid, it's obvious that doesn't need any debating because of course Barcelona is much better comparing with Real. So that's obvious. Like, and the problem when we are debating with people who are who like the Real, they will start getting emotional. They will start yelling, and then there might be a fight here in the hangout. Because they don't have any arguments.
We won't let that happen. Alfonso, what do you think about that?
Well, actually, I follow the Real Madrid, but nowadays the best one is the Barcelona. They
Really?
play
The best
much
one is
better.
Barcelona.
Yeah, I think they play much better. Although I
Okay.
follow Real Madrid.
Okay. Javier, what do you think?
Yes, I agree with Alfonso. Though in my family, oops, there's a problem. I think with some partner.
I think, yeah, Mohammed.
Okay. Oops. Yeah. Thank you, Jefferson. Okay, I was saying that I agree with Alfonso. Though in my family there are more fans for Real Madrid, you know, and but yeah, nowadays and since 2-3 years, Barcelona is really playing better than any other Spanish team. But I think also that there is a part of politics between Barcelona and followers and Real Madrid followers here in Spain, you know, about about independence of Barcelona and Catalonia, or feeling national and following Real Madrid and so on. But it's not the whole thing. But I think it's a big thing too.
Okay.
I have a question to Alfonso.
Yes.
What's the situation in Spain? Is Catalonia is going to separate from Spain?
Well, I don't think so. I think it won't happen. They want to, but I think it won't happen.
Okay.
Actually, that's a really interesting debate that I would like to talk about next week. This week we don't have too much time, but I will write down. We didn't get to talk about mental health as well. So mental health and specifically government independence, things like this. So so today I just want to review some things that we went over. So we talked about different tips of what to do in a debate. Don't become emotional. Speaking slowly and staying on the subject and putting yourself in the other person's position. We also talked about staying neutral. I'm sorry, Mohammed. Yeah, it looks like your speaker or something is not. It's not working correctly. It just sounds really, really loud. But yeah, it's okay. But next time, the same time next week, we will continue discussing how to debate in a diplomatic way and whatever you all would like to talk about. But I've really enjoyed this class, so thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Troy. It was great.
Is there any last minute questions? Not just about the debate, but anything.
What play was your roommate playing?
I think probably World of Warcraft.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Troy.
Yes.
What's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team.
Yeah.
I don't follow football that much.
Okay.
When I went to Italy, I went to AC Milan game. That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I would probably have to say AC Milan just because that's the only game I've been to.
Okay. Do you like NCAA?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love American football. That's right.
So tell me what's the best team of NCAA?
Oh,
Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh no! Definitely USC. Trojans.
No.
Because their name is the Men of Troy, so naturally they're the best. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Oh,
See you next week, hopefully.
Bye. Next time.
Okay.
Bye bye.